Hello there YouTube, it's your boy B3, back with another kicking comic book review. Today we're looking at another one-shot from IDW Publishing. It is Godzilla Rivals versus King Ghidorah, number 1. Very cool. This one I have a lot to say about. The writer-artist is Adam Gorham, the colorist Adam Guziewiczki, the design and letters Nathan Wittig, editor Megan Brown, another editor Jasmine Joyner, and the supervising editor is Tom Waltz. So it takes place in like Tokyo in the 90s, 1996 specifically. These very Showa-looking Exilian spacecrafts are attacking, but they're not Exilians, they're Martians. But they use the Exilian designs, and they're still called Exilians, but now they are Martians that live on Mars. But they're still called Exilians and have all the Showa Exilian designs. Interesting. And the Godzilla is kind of just a generic Heisei Godzilla. I praised the last two issues for having unique-looking Godzillas for IDW, versus Ghidorah had a Showa Godzilla, and versus Mothra had the 84 Godzilla. IDW never uses those, but IDW has done a lot with Showa Godzilla. But then, you know, the Exilians take him away, like they do in Invasion of the Astro Monster. And then we go to this big supervillain layer, which has Doctor Who, that's right, Dr. Ogilvy Who, from King Kong Escapes and the King Kong Show. He's in there, and they're deconstructing Exilian tech, but you can also see a smaller Mechagodzilla and Mechani-Kong being built in the background. What? Doctor Who and Mechani-Kong were the last things I expected to be in this. Mechani-Kong is a background cameo, but Doctor Who is an important character in this. Like when the Exilians attack, he joins the rest of humanity and stops being a supervillain and helps people. Because, you know, it's his planet too. You know, we've seen that before. And then there's this woman, she's a pilot, and one of Doctor Who's robots that developed emotions because he connected to this advanced Exilian tech, and it gave him the ability to feel. But then you go to the Exilian homeworld, and they have Godzilla in like a gladiator dome. And you know how in like the movie Gladiator and in Justice League, the animated series, when they go to War World, it's like, oh, all these people, they have so many problems and they don't support the ruling class. But if we keep giving them gladiator battles, they'll forget about that. That's the same thing that's happening here. They have KAIJU gladiator battles, and their grand champion is, of course, King Ghidorah, Monster Zero. They call Godzilla Monster 1999. And the first battle we see is him versus 3 Kamacuras, a la Son of Godzilla, you know? And he does take him down, and Godzilla's kicking serious ass. We see Doctor Who jump in a Jet Jaguar mech. And yeah, I prefer a Jet Jaguar as an autonomous robot, but we've seen Jet Jaguar mechs before. And just having Jet Jaguar in anything makes me so happy. He's my favorite robot in all of fiction. Now let's go back to the Exilian homeworld, which is Mars for some reason. Could have just called them Martians. You could have given... They didn't have to be Exilians. I don't know. It's fine that they're Exilians. There's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we call ourselves humans, despite being from the planet Earth. We're not from the planet Huma. You know? It's fine. It doesn't matter. But there's... I don't know. Just being a longtime Godzilla fan, it is weird to be like, the Exilians are from Mars. Not from Planet X or from a world you couldn't pronounce in your tongue. Weird. But they finally have Monster Zero fight Godzilla because they're like, oh, yay, the people of Mars don't actually support the invasion of Earth. Start paying attention here, okay? Listen to this. The Exilians, the average Joe, doesn't support the invasion of Earth. So they want Ghidorah to defeat Godzilla in the ring, and they think that'll get people hyped to invade Earth, and even if it doesn't, the gladiator matches will still distract them enough so that they don't worry about Earth anymore. So the government is taking military action against a sovereign entity, and the people don't support it. That is a lot like 1930s and 40s Japan, don't you think? Where the people, because remember, after World War II ended, the Japanese people didn't even show up to their leaders' war criminal trials. They were like, hang him, we don't care. Do it. We didn't support the war. The average Japanese Joe did not support actions in World War II. It was just the insane ruling and military class for the most part. And in this book, we have Earthlings in a spaceship traveling to the Exilian homeworld to drop a bomb on them and end the war. One of these pilots does appear to be Japanese, and the other is a robot modeled after a Japanese person. And they're going to drop this new big experimental weapon that'll do untold damage to swiftly end the war. This echoes the end of World War II in such a crazy, insane way. Like, you can tell this comic was written by more of a Western team. A Japanese Godzilla team wouldn't tell this story like this. You see, if a Japanese creative team made this story, the heroes would likely choose not to drop the bomb and find another way or something like that. Or they would drop the bomb and the consequences would be so heavy that it does a lot worse. Like, it doesn't end the war for good. It just creates something worse. But in this story, dropping the bomb does kind of work. And a lot of innocent Exilians die. We see them like just wearing almost like sports jerseys and stuff in the Coliseum. Just like regular Earthling sports attendees. We see them get blown to fucking bits. And they say in the book, like, it's a shame that all those innocent civilians had to die to end this war. But they do more than end the war. They save humanity. They save the Earth. And now the Earth is more united than ever. Stuff's probably going to be great on Earth, especially since they left Godzilla on Mars. But the problem is they left Godzilla on Mars. Once again, it was the ruling class of Mars that wanted Earth. The innocent people, the 99%, didn't support the war. They left Godzilla there. And the end of the book implies that he destroys the entire Martian civilization. In his brand new form. That's right, Godzilla absorbs the radiation on Mars, the kind that's not on Earth, and he gets a Martian Godzilla form, where he becomes this really dark black. And do you remember in the Gemstone, Godzilla vs. Gigan Rex, he gets that, like, big glowing white patch on his chest? This Godzilla gets a red patch like that, and like red bolts of energy are emitting from him. And it's a very cool looking form. It's a little change, but it very much reminded me of the Gemstone Godzilla white form. So yeah, I mean, maybe this book is saying, hey, maybe the aftermath of the atomic bombs wasn't worth it. I'm not giving my personal opinion on dropping the atomic bombs here. I have one, but I'm not giving it to you right now, just so you know. Maybe they are saying, hey, doing this was worse than not doing it. Maybe that is what they're saying. I don't know. It's so weirdly muddled. It's so oddly muddled. The message, if there even is one, doesn't come across clearly to me. But it kind of feels like there is one. I mean, Godzilla media... You know, there's always those people that are like, I don't want media that has a message in it. And it's fine to have mindless media without a message. There's nothing wrong with that. At all. But most media does have a message. Whether it's intentional or not. Like, look at Night of the Living Dead. There's very clearly stuff in there. But they said they were just trying to make a fun zombie movie. Or ghoul movie. But... you can't look at that in the context of the time it was created in and not see that it's a product of the political state of its time, you know? But this book, I read it, and I'm like, if it's trying to say something, what the hell is it trying to say? It would definitely be something about the atomic bombs, but what about them? It's so odd I don't know. Yeah, he fights King Ghidorah. I kind of skipped over that. He does, whatever. It's fine. But there's just something so odd about this book. I don't know. It definitely has more real estate in my head than the last two issues. But, there's also this behind the story segment in the back about, like, how this story was inspired by the writer's childhood art, which is kind of interesting. You might want to give it a read. Very fun, very cool. Wait, the back of the comic says next in series is Godzilla Rivals versus Gigan, but according to the read list on Amazon, it says the next in series is Godzilla Rivals versus Batra. So I guess I won't be doing Gigan next. I guess Batra will be next. Or it's Godzilla Rivals 2 versus Batra. That's definitely out of order. That's out of order on Amazon's list. Gigan's definitely the next one. I'll just review whichever one I feel like next. Let me know in the comments if you want Batra or Gigan first. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.